am excited to be here this morning. So, I have a couple of guests that's going to be joining me today. And just to kind of give you a little bit of a background, so the city of Highland Park is hosting the Get Out the Vote Youth Voice Fest next month on July 7th, which is prompting the conversation that we're going to have today. So this election year is one of the most important, and we must become engaged. And so today I have in studio with me Mr. Carlton Clyburn Jr., who is the City of Highland Park Community and Economic Director. And so I am excited for you to be here with me today. So thank you for joining me. And this is an event that came together. I saw there was quite a few sponsors on there. My Brother's Keeper, Positively HP, just to name a couple. But what was the driving force behind creating this event?
All right, thank you, and I appreciate being on the show. You're right, this is very important. So I'm also the executive director for Highland Park Youth Advocacy Alliance, and our mission is to make sure that our youth are productive during out of school time. So the Youth Voice Fest came together because of the importance of that 18 to 35-year-old demographic, of the civic engagement. So we have to get them civically engaged in our elections. We got to plant the seeds, we got to water the seeds, and we got to keep talking about getting engaged. A lot of their views and mentality is that, their vote don't count, voting doesn't matter, but locally it does. And we have to keep driving that. We have to get involved. And that 18 to 35-year-old, that demographic could change a lot. So I got together with, like you say, Bays, my sister's keeper, my brother's keeper, Positively HP, and Wayne Metro is stepped up. We got Coca-Cola, Comerica, but it's all about that voice. So we named it Youth Voice Fest because they have to understand that they have a voice.
That's pretty good. I like that. So just for you guys to know, so this event is happening Saturday, July 7th. Sunday.
Yes.
Sorry. Sunday, July 7th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Park Place Plaza.
That's right.
All right. I got to make sure that I'm on top of it because apparently I just slipped up a little bit. So again, that's Sunday, July 7th. From 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. at Park Place Plaza, which is to bring out the youth, get them more engaged. So I know that the primary is coming up,
Correct.
Which is August 6th.
Yep.
In November is the general.
Correct.
And what are your thoughts towards this upcoming election cycle, and how significant is it specifically to you?
It's very significant. One of the we got some people running, we got some things happening, and yes, the general's in November, but we can't overlook the primary.
Right.
The primary is so important because in a lot of communities like Highland Park and these areas, it's one side that wins, right? So we have to make sure the right candidate is making it through the primary. And
Right.
that's huge. I mean, it's such a low turnout in the primary because, even if you look now, it's not, you got some commercials, you got this, but it ain't a lot of money being spent from these political folks, and it should be, but they're waiting to go into the general. But we need the primary, the people that's really going to make the mark for us and stand up for us. A lot of that's happening in the primary.
That's very true.
So we got to keep telling the message, so will it hit this time? We don't know. Do we want it to? Yes. If we can get 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 of them 18 to 35-year-olds to get engaged, and then the next time, it can be exponential. And that's what we're looking for. So what it means to me is really getting engaged and getting people out to understand the importance of how important these local elections are.
Absolutely. So you hit on something that kind of resonated with me because I used to be one of those people.
Me too.
And that'd be like,
Me too.
my vote don't count.
Me too.
I don't know why waste my time.
No.
I used to literally watch and see the poll line just down the street, and I'm like, I'm not about to go stand in that line.
No,
Like, it was just all of that,
no
right?
interest at all.
No interest at
No
all.
interest at all.
I voted to get Barack Obama in there, and then that was it. I said, I'm done. But having the opportunity to see things from another perspective, right? You realize how important voting actually is,
Yep.
especially like you mentioned, the primary, because they don't necessarily advertise and do all of that during the primary because they're focused on the general, but the primary is where everybody is chosen
That's the
to
one.
be on the general,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so if we don't do what we need to do as far as making sure that the people that we want is on the general, we have to do it in the primary.
Yeah.
And so that's critical. So in your perception, why is it critically important for the Black community?
'Cause we
I know
need
that's a loaded.
No.
That's
We need representation.
There we go.
Period. We need representation. And if we overlook this and we just wait and say, okay, you know what? We know it's a Democrat that's going to get in. We need to make sure it's the right Democrat getting in, or it's the right whoever getting in, because that's the person that's going to be representing us. It's got to be somebody in touch with the community, somebody that understands the community, because we have needs, and everybody don't understand our needs. So we need people that understand our needs, that's going to make sure when it's time to appropriate funds or make decisions and pass legislation that we are taking into account. And if we're not doing that, then we're going to keep in this little hamster wheel that we're in, looking like things going to get better, but they not. Why things ain't getting better, but they not. We have to change. Something has to happen.
Right.
And like you said, for a while I wasn't politics. Get out of here. Voting. But like you say, when I ran and I understood and I started seeing the other side of it, I was locally. If you don't vote, vote. But locally, you have to get involved, because these are the people that's representing you. Your local officials are the ones that's going to represent you.
Absolutely. So with that said, I have another guest that is joining us by phone today, and I am so excited because this woman has become Michigan's 43rd Secretary of State. So I am excited to have Ms. Jocelyn Benson on the line with me today. Are you there?
Hi, how are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thank you for joining. I know your schedule is completely busier than mine, so I definitely want to make sure that I honor that. But I do just have a couple of questions in regards to voting, its accessibility, the impact, and the importance of exercising our vote. So if I can, I just want to dive a little bit into that. So what specific measures has your office implemented to ensure that voting is accessible to all Michigan residents, especially those in like the rural areas and individuals with disabilities?
Well, thank you so much again for having me. And, we've been able to, thanks to the voter support of expanding options to participate in our elections in 2018 and again in 2022's elections, we were able to create free options to vote in our state. You can vote from home, getting your ballot mailed to you, and then you just mail it right back. You can vote early, the week before the election, where you could show up on a Saturday or Sunday, or the full week before Election Day, as it's known, to vote at an early voting center, just as you would on Election Day. And then we now also have, of course, Election Day voting as well still in place. So those additional options to vote help us meet people where they are. And if you're working on Election Day, you now have the ability to just vote the Saturday before, or the Sunday before, or the week before, or the evening before, if that helps you get your voice in the mix. So we want more people to know they can participate with these new options, and folks can go to michigan.gov/vote to get all the details.
That is so awesome. I know that you guys been hard at work to make sure that we have some really good voting practices. And so I am so thankful and commend you. I was helping some folks get their absentee ballots going through the website, which is very easy to navigate, might I add.
Oh, good.
So it was good. So how has the introduction of early voting in Michigan impact the voter turnout and engagement?
Well, we've certainly seen that more people are participating than ever before with these added opportunities. In fact, in 2020, Michigan led the nation in both youth vote turnout, and we had the highest turnout election in our state's history.
Wow, that's huge. I had no idea. Now, I did do a little bit of research. I see that, of course, our 62 and older are those that are typically our highest voting blocks. But following up right behind that was that 26 to, it was 26 to 39 or something like that. It was just that right after that, they came in second as far as voting, but that 18 to that 26, how can we engage them more in your thought processes? What ways do you think that we can engage that 18 to 26 age group?
Well, what we found, we had a youth roundtable earlier this week in downtown Detroit, and what was interesting was that all the numbers show that youth are engaged, young people are engaged in our election in general. What we need to do is engage them in elections, in our institutions, and help them see that their institutions are in need of their input and support. And so that's the that's the gap we need to bridge. And we brought a lot of great young leaders together to help us figure out how to do that, both from within our department, but also in other sectors as well.
Okay. So are there any initiatives in place to educate voters about their rights and the voting process, and then also combating misinformation about elections?
Yeah, we've actually launched a voter confidence councils all across the state that engage faith leaders and business leaders and labor leaders and other community leaders with information on how to participate in early voting, and also with truthful information about how we ensure only valid votes are being counted. It's one of the ways that we can help people have faith in their elections, have confidence in their elections through the voices of folks who are on the ground already, and who they trust. And it's been a really effective way to engage people now in preparing for November with trusted information about how to exercise their right to vote and how to ensure their voice is heard.
Amazing. And how does your office help to communicate the importance of participating in local elections? Because we, as you mentioned, we typically vote majority of the time during the general election. But how can, or does your office already communicate the importance of participation in all elections, like the local elections, the primaries, special elections, and what impact does these elections have on residents' daily living?
Well, certainly the more your voice is heard, the more people who are making decisions every day that impact you are making those decisions with you in mind. And that's really what voting is about. It's not necessarily just about voting for one person or the other, but it's really about making sure you're sending a message to the folks in power that you're paying attention, and that you're going to hold them accountable and boot them out of office if they don't listen to you or don't respond to your needs in an appropriate way. So that helps a great deal to ensure that communities all across the state are being represented when they know and when the citizens in them are participating in a way that helps others hear their voice and recognize what they need to do to help them.
Okay. I'm all wow. Your office is so busy.
Thank you for having me today. I really appreciate the opportunity to stop by and chat with you for a few minutes. And thank you for all the work that you do to educate folks about their right to vote and make sure they have confidence in our elections.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know that you kind of got to jump in a few, but I got one last question. So, looking ahead at future developments, what do you foresee in the realm of voting and elections in Michigan that you could possibly do to shift take it even further in regards to the voting rights and voter registration and election day logistics and engagement?
That's a great question. And I think that's really a question for citizens to think about, because all the changes and improvements that have been made in our elections have been driven by citizens, putting citizens more in charge of the process than ever before. But when I think about what we need to do next, I focus on government transparency and ethics reform. We have done, completely modernized how we run elections in our state. We've completely upgraded the participation process and the registration process. But now it's important to ensure the governing process is also in line with engaging citizens and not allowing simply the most wealthiest interest to rule the day. So I think more transparency on money in politics, more protections against corruption in government is what we need to do next to continue moving the ball forward and create a healthier democracy for everyone.
Well, thank you so much for answering that question for me. I look forward to seeing what's in store, and then also pulling people out of their homes, or hey, you could do the absentee ballots, but just getting engaged in that voting process, because it's critical to your daily lives, because we need people in office that can bring the things that we want to see to light. So it's very, very critical to elect people who align with your values, who align with what you want to see and have you in mind. So thank you so much again for joining me. I know you have to go. I didn't want to keep you long. So
thanks for letting me stop by. It's great to chat, and I hope to come back again soon.
Absolutely. I would love to have you again.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good rest of your day.
All right, you too. So we are going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about voting, the importance, and then also the event that's coming up on July 7th, which is a Sunday and not a Saturday, I remember. So we're going to return right after this commercial break.
Hi, I'm Eric Sabri, your Wayne County Treasurer. Are you living in the home of a deceased family member and you're facing property tax foreclosure, or maybe you know someone who's in the same situation? The probate process may be helpful to you. If you file a probate petition and notify our office, the foreclosure proceedings will be halted during the probate process. We have several nonprofit partners who have free attorneys who can assist you. Contact our office, 313-224-5990, or email us at taxinfo@waynecounty.com. Don't lose your family property. Some of these properties have been in the family for 4 or 5 generations. Contact us now. We're here to help.
Generational wealth. No risk, no reward. All entrepreneurs, get yours personalized with your business's name or logo. Order yours today. Go to our website, generationalwealthforlife.com, or call 313-220-9433. That's 313-220-9433. Generational wealth. No risk, no reward.
You know what it is, generational wealth.
Muscles, joints, or feet tired, achy, or distressed? Tried everything? Ringmaster Rubbing Oil is a vintage topical pain reliever, trusted for over 70 years, with a rich formula for the treatment of stubborn aches and pains. Packaged in a glass bottle for purity, our liquid can also be used in warm water for foot soaks and compresses. A little goes a long way. Try our time-tested formula, available in several sizes.
Make a donation to WHBR-TV and receive 2 2-ounce bottles of Ringmaster Rubbing Oil for $25. Call 313-868-6612.
welcome back to the Highland Park Spotlight. I'm your host, Keisha B. And if you're just now tuning in, oh man, you missed it. Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson joined us on the phone today as we just kind of dived into some of the different changes that has happened over the last few years in regards to voter education, voter registration, voter logistics, and how you can vote and how early you can vote. So Michigan has 9-day early voting, and then also same-day registration and voting as well. So you can actually register to vote on the same day. I'm going to say August 6th. You can register to vote and then turn around and go to the polls. So we have some very good extensive voter rights here in the state of Michigan. And Ms. Jocelyn Benson, Secretary of State, the 43rd Secretary of State for the state of Michigan, was just incredible and gave a lot of good information. And then I'm also in studio with Carlson Clyburn Jr. himself as we talk about the Youth Voice Fest that is happening on Sunday, July 7th from 2 to 6 p.m. at Park Place Plaza, and which is another initiative to get youth out to express that the fact that they have a voice, and then also understanding what that voice means. And so I know that we kind of talked about why voting is critically important to the Black community in your perception, but also what are some of the goals you hope to accomplish with the Youth Voice Fest?
Okay, so actually the Secretary of State plans on attending the event.
Oh,
Yep.
awesome.
Yep. So she's going to give words. We got the sheriff, Raphael. He'll be there, and we have a lot of special guests coming to talk about the importance. We're going to drop them leading up. Like starting next week, we're going to let you know we got a special DJ, a couple people that's going to come out and give words. But it's about understanding and kind of, I don't want to use demystifying some of the things that we think about when it comes to voting, because when it comes to voting in our community, especially the young ones, the young folk in our community, there's just no interest, and it's so critical. Communities are built on the youth. Schools are built on it. Everything is built on our youth, and we have to embrace and understand that we got to relate a message. We gotta start breaking down some of these barriers, because if we won't change, we gotta vote for change, and we gotta put the people in the office that's gonna create the change. So what I hope to gain is I hope to touch a couple of the youngins to get them interested in voting and to talk to their friends about it and just change the perception. I would like to register some folks. We will have opportunities to register on site. We're gonna have other community organizations there that's going to help and assist. It's going to be a party, so
right.
It's a Youth Voice Fest. We're going to have, like I say, DJs. We'll have a little bit of entertainment. A lot of surprises. But it's geared towards the 18 to 35-year-olds. And from there, go ahead.
No, I'm just outside that 35-year-old.
Well, and look at you. You're on the show. You're talking about, hey, how important it is. When you wasn't 35, you was talking about you really wasn't engaged, right? So we need to, so now that we didn't crossed over, because I'm over 35 also. Now that we done crossed the threshold, right. It's important to go back. You know what? I was wrong. I've learned better, and now it's time for me to let my community know that we have to get involved a lot early. Because from this program also sparked, it's called the Civic Spark Academy, and that's going to be at the Rec Center. So this is why it's July 7th, and so I'm going to break it down just real quick.
Go ahead.
Okay, so July 7th is the Sunday, okay? So that's the 18 to 35-year-olds, a lot of razzle-dazzle, hoopla, get them out just to talk about it. Mm-hmm. That Tuesday will be our first session for Civic Spark Academy, which is geared towards middle school and high school students. And this is really where I feel like we need to be targeting. We need to target those sixth graders, really the third grade. But we'll start with the sixth graders to let them understand, why civic engagement. Let's not talk about voting. Let's talk about civic engagement. Let's talk about the importance of what's going on in your community. So the first session is all about what the elected officials do. what each, because as adults, I bet you could take a poll, and a lot of adults don't know what a state rep does versus what, or a state senator versus a U.S. senator.
Right.
These things are important because as we voting, we got to know what we voting for.
That's true.
And then, who best in that position. Like, what does the clerk do? What does the treasurer do? All these things are important. So when you start understanding that, you embrace it a lot more. So if we teaching the youngins, okay, what these different positions are and what they do and what kind of power they hold and how it's important, then it's like, okay, now I understand. So as you get older, you older, you don't want to say, well, what is this? What's this? Because you don't want to feel, certain kind of way. So we have 4 sessions. So, and I made them on Tuesdays on purpose because, we got the first one is just all civics. The second is art, where, they can express, civic engagement through art, how they feel. And then third, we're going to have like mock elections where we're going to take them through the full voting process.
That's fire.
Yeah. So, they say, well,
That's
we have some positions. They say, well, we let them do their little spills if they want to make some little, and then the fourth one is just like reflections. Or we may have the actual election. We may have to, that third session may be all getting ready and like ready.
Yeah,
and
let them go through
let
the
them
election.
go through and so that's 4 Tuesdays, and then that next Tuesday is the primary election.
Oh, that's fire.
See what I'm saying? So it's like, and we'll give them the opportunity to come out, not support a candidate, but just see the whole experience. Work the polls, pass out water to the poll workers, just be part of the whole voting experience. And, hopefully that would turn into something more. So, that's, it's exciting, something new, something different. And, we run that. That's going to be at the rec center from 4:30 to 6, starting that Tuesday, which is the 9th. And
That's awesome.
It'll be 4 Tuesdays leading into the primary. So that's my little plan. That's what I concocted, and that's what I want to keep pushing out there. Are we going to do something around general? We don't know, but right now, this is the plan.
That's good though, because I'm just sitting here just kind of taking in everything that you're saying, but we talk a lot about the world that we're living in. We leaving it to the youth, so we have to, we talk a lot, but sometimes we don't back it up, right? People talk about they won't change, but they don't back it up. The biggest thing that has caused frustration with me, per se, and I'm going to follow it back up with what you said, but people talk a lot. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like that. Oh, they need to change this. Oh, no, I don't like that. I don't like that law. I don't like that. I don't like that policy. We talk a good game. But if you really want to see something happen or you want to see something change, one, either get into a position where you can be a person to change that law, change the policy, become a constituent reaching out to, people in those positions, or support somebody who actually has that same thought process or value as you. And how do you support? And that's by voting, right? And so with you doing that with the youth, it comes out. So I'm a big believer in, if you train up a child in the way that they shall go, they will never depart from it. It doesn't matter what that is. If you're training a child in it, they're not going to depart from it. Right. So if you're teaching them at a younger age just how that process works, I think it will also trigger something within them to actually say, hey, I can be that person. Instead of just having understanding of the position and understanding of what it means, but also having that, it creates a spark or a desire to say, ooh, so if this is the process, I can possibly run for state rep. Oh, I could become a precinct delegate. Oh, I can, become president of the United States. But I think programs like that is crucial. So I am excited for that. I might have to pop in every once in a while when I can break away.
That's
That's
right.
I'm gonna have to pop
We're
in.
gonna have more opportunities for you.
All right.
It's not a one and done.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure because I love stuff like that.
Not a one
right?
and done.
I love stuff like that, and I ain't told nobody, but I stepped out of my comfort zone. My name gonna be on the ballot because I'm running for precinct delegate in my area.
All right,
So thank you.
That's good stuff. Yeah.
So I'm trying not to be that person that's always talking and actually trying to do
That's right.
something. Although I see it as a stepping stone. I don't know what I'm stepping into after that, but we'll see where God leads me. So
What area you in?
my precinct would be 239.
Okay.
So I'm not far.
Okay.
My precinct right up here, 6 Mile, off 7 Mile in Livernois area. So
Okay. All right.
I ain't too far.
Well, it's a good area.
It's a really good area.
Good area. Yeah.
So
Congrats. I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Anything I could do to help.
You know, I don't even know.
Oh, trust me, you will.
I don't even know at this point.
It's gonna carry you. It's gonna carry you where you. It's gonna carry you.
Yeah,
So,
it's
yeah.
I wouldn't go
Education
do
is
it.
important, man.
It is.
You got to educate yourself. And you can't be afraid to ask questions. You can't be afraid to pick up a book. You can't, because you got people in office that don't know a lot.
No,
So
I'm
it's
finding
like,
that out.
yeah. So but they're not being challenged to.
Exactly.
You
You're
know,
right.
so the more we're educated as residents, voters, the more we can hold those folks running for office more accountable, because now we know what questions ask. Like, so if we're talking to someone who's running for state rep, we don't know what a state rep does. We don't know what questions to ask.
Yeah, that's very true.
So we got to understand who we talking to. We got to understand okay, so for a congressperson, these should be our ask, or this is what a congressperson can do for us.
Mm-hmm.
Because
you got to be able to break it down from the federal level to state level to local level.
And what they power,
exactly.
What do they hold? What are they there for?
Mm-hmm.
It ain't just a position. No, every position has a role. What is it? Educate yourself. You got to learn these things, and we have to hold these folks accountable.
It's very true. It's very true. So I know that the event on the 7th, you said it's like a party.
Yes.
So I heard that there's a DJ.
Yep.
All right. So
I'll let you know. What's the day? Wednesday. I'll tell you Friday. Yeah,
we live now. You want to tell me on Friday?
We live now, but
I'm not live on Friday.
Right. That's all right. Anticipation works sometimes too.
It does. It makes you kind of just be like, all right.
Yeah.
So, entertainment. What about food? Is food gonna be there? Because I need some food.
We're gonna have some food.
Is it free?
We're gonna have some food. We're gonna take care of folks.
All right. I heard DJ. I heard food. So now,
we're gonna have a little bit of entertainment. And
kind
we're
of
gonna have some
entertainment.
education.
So okay. So entertainment though. So
like performances,
okay.
musical
All right.
acts.
All right, I'm with that.
Yeah.
And you said education. So
Yes.
I'm hoping that this education revolves around the whole voting and government and
Absolutely.
all of that.
So like I say, right now, confirmed, we have the Secretary of State and we have the Sheriff. So we got some other confirmations coming in.
Wayne County Sheriff.
Yes.
Mr. Washington.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, Lord. That's my guy, though.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
Mayor McDonald will be there.
Sweet.
So we got people
Shout out
coming,
to the mayor.
Yeah, to talk about what's going on and just the importance of, voting and engaging in the community.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to the event. I'm going to show my face. I'm going to be there. I can't stay the entire time.
I understand.
But I'm going to show my face.
Yeah.
I'm going to be there.
That's all. We just want you in and out. Just, come put some of that energy in the universe for us.
I might bless the mic. You never know.
You never know.
Might get a couple of bars out of me. You never know. I'm not that great. I'm going to throw that out there too. But just really just thinking about as far as voting, I think and you kind of hit on something in regards to people not understanding the different levels of government and understanding what each level does and what that means, and how does it affect them from, on their daily lives. Because most people, when you ask the question, what has any government official done that affects the food on your table, majority of them can't come up with anything. They're like,
don't have a clue. Don't have a clue. And
nothing. But there's a lot of things that's happening, but if you don't understand, then there is that disconnect.
That's right.
So what if, now I'm throwing this to you though, alley-oop. So if you create like just a document, like a one-pager that kind of just breaks it down for people, right? And then I can just blast it.
That's fine. We'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll put it together for the Civic Spark Academy so it can be read by anybody to understand it. And that's, you're right. I mean, that's such an important tool. And that's, putting this program together gives me the opportunity and brings some experts together to help create these documents so any layman can read it and understand it. We need to make people understand, because if they understand and are educated, I'm gonna say it again, we can hold folks accountable. Yeah. So if you have a problem with something or you need something done, you got to know who to call.
Very true.
So when especially around election time, that's when you see them, right? They come, and in some communities they tell you what they gonna do. So you're running for Congress, this is what we need you to do.
Yeah.
Oh, you running for U.S. Senator, this is what we need
you. Mm-hmm.
Not we've been sitting back listening to folks tell us what they're gonna do every election cycle. And after the election cycle is over, there's dust in the wind.
You never see them.
You never see them until this next election. And they come with the same smile. We fall for it again. It's amazing. It's so amazing. Like, hey, they said like they didn't do nothing on their list for us. Mm-hmm. Now, they may have checked off some boxes across the board, but we have not received anything. Yeah. And one of the reasons why is because we're not asking for anything. What are we asking for? And who are we asking? How are we asking? It's power in the vote, and let's not forget that it's also fundraising. So, as a community, we need to make sure that we're supporting the elected officials that we want financially, because these things cost. Because somebody could step in the race, they got a ton of money, they dumping money in there, so they're gonna win because they dumping money, but they might not be the right person for us. Yeah. So, we got to make an investment in our future also. We got to educate ourselves. We also got to make donations, and we got to invest in who we want to see in office that's going to do the right job for us. But we got to understand that. So we got to, I'm not disregarding anybody, but we really need to start building with our youth, because those are our next generations of voters. That's our next generation of elected officials. That's our next generation. That's who's going to step in and replace us. And honestly, I'm not really comfortable. So, we have to do things to, because who's doing it? Who's supposed to do it? It's our responsibility. Right. Those are our children. That's our youth. They're supposed to step into our place. So if we're not doing these things, really shame on us.
Very true. Because we supposed to be taking care of our own household, which means education. It starts at home. So people tend to forget. You can't just send your child to school and be like, oh, it's done. They doing my job for me. But it's a collective. We've gotten so far from the community, the family,
the
and
village.
That's it. That's the village. It takes a village to raise a child. I remember growing up, man, I told this story the other day. I had my grandma's house, Miss Scott's house. I can't even remember the lady that lived next to her. And then there was this dude down the street, cool, and everybody, they used to tear me up, okay?
The whole block.
But they also kind of encouraged me to be engaged with stuff that's happening in the community, right, which is why I'm so community oriented now, but we have to definitely start at home from what you said.
You know, being from Highland Park and being raised in Highland Park, you know, one of the things that make Highland Park special and why, you know, folks in Highland Park feel the way they do is because we're a small community, but like we were tight knit. You know, like the whole block raised me. I had a strong family unit, but I also had a strong block. And like you say, you know, up and down the block, you can't do nothing.
Nothing.
But you grew up with them. You know, you built with them. I mean, we're so far from that right now.
Yeah.
You know, it's so far. It's anyway. We got to do a better job.
I agree. So here's the thing too. I'm just throwing it out there because you mentioned it. So that 18 to 35 age group, right?
Yeah.
Majority of them be online. They be on Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all of that. I don't even think Twitter is even Twitter anymore. I think
X.
It's X,
yeah.
right?
See,
So
I've been doing a little research. I've been educating myself.
no, for real.
Yeah, for real.
Because you know they take to social media and whatever is on there, like they soak it in, right? So what if you do a TikTok?
Yeah.
About see, I'm giving you all these assignments, but like just because I think it's crucial, we got to figure out new ways to engage, right? So if it becomes fun for them, or if it becomes something that kind of grabs their attention, majority of the time the attention is on social media. So if we push it through social media, I think you can pull a little bit more. So I think you should actually really put together a TikTok video or Instagram video just about, you know, how government works.
Yep. And guess what? Putting together programs like this gives me the platform to do that. So I've also got to do my time right? I got to manage my time well. So I said, well, you know, this is something I want to do. So I build this program, get some good information. Then I can do the video, you know, so it's all in order. So
you can do it before then. But, you know, y'all, I'm trying to get him to step out, right? He got to step out. He got a lot of information in here, but he got to get it out. And y'all got to follow him on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. He's trying to build it up, right? But no, like you have one heck of a platform. And then with what you're doing with the kids and the youth programming and then the Youth Voice Fest and all of that, like the platform that you currently have is great for just promoting it and just talking about it. So you could do it now.
Yeah.
And
I need help.
See, I was helping, right?
You got busy on me, but it's fine. Hey, we on the air.
Yeah, I like to have fun, but like voting is extremely, extremely important, especially for our community, right? And so you mentioned representation, and right now, for the first time in how long? I think it's 50-something, 56, 57, 58 years that we don't have representation.
Ain't that crazy?
In office.
Wow.
That understands our issues, our thought processes, our history, you know, our neighborhoods, our concerns. We don't have representation right now. And that's the big thing.
That's huge.
And it's scary.
Very.
Because if we don't have anybody that can understand us in office that's representing us in Washington, how can we expect anything different for our communities?
We can't. It's not going to happen. So, but we also have an opportunity, you know, like you talking time and all, you know, it's a race coming up. And it's a primary race. It's an August 6th race that is so very crucial. I know we on air. I don't want to mess up FCC stuff, so I'm going to keep it cool. But we have an opportunity to make some history and really do a real solid for our community in one of these races in the primary. You know, the U.S. Senate thing. You know, but I just, you know, because I don't want RJ calling me, so I'm gonna be real cool about, like, man, you know, but we have an opportunity, and this election is really special because we also have that opportunity.
Yeah.
That's only on the primary ballot. You know, so we got to get the word out. We got to really, and from here on out, we got to just understand that we need to take more initiative and get out to really vote. We got to break some of these. And this is me talking, and I am one of them people, like you said, like my parents. Even when I ran for council, my parents were like, "What?" You know, because I've never been in but working in the community, learning and just learning. It's like, oh, this is why we are in the condition we're in, because we're not even paying attention to the politics.
Yeah, because that's basically what it is. It's politics everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere, and you hit on the fact that when you take it to others, and they were like, "What? Why?" It's just that question, because it's typically out of the ordinary for us, because we don't, as a people, rather,
absolutely,
because it's like such a stigma on it, and politics can get nasty.
Oh my God,
and
it's such an ugly thing. It's
so horrible.
It is.
It's so horrible. But if we have people who have integrity, who has people best interest at heart, that actually steps out to do something about it, we could change that dynamic of politics being so grimy.
It's terrible.
And just
and then people don't want to get engaged because of that. But if you don't get engaged, how's it going to change?
That's another part.
It's like you got to get off the bench. You
get in the game, coach.
Monday morning quarterbacking and all this, that, and other. But get on a board. Go to a meeting, voice your opinion. I mean, like in Highland Park, we have so much talent, but no one gets involved because, like, it's now, I don't want us. I get it, but I did it. I need help. I need more people involved. We need good time. We need people that understand things to be involved. This is our community.
That's true. I mean, even if it's just, so like, let me throw this out there. I just had this thought pop into my head, because speaking of opportunities, especially for the youth, so the city of Highland Park has opened up the applications for the summer youth program, right? Mm-hmm. So I love how the summer youth program works, because it's giving the youth an opportunity to kind of see how offices are ran and how things are done from behind the scenes, because they get an inside look on how does community and economic development work, or how does the police department work, or how does the fire department work, or how does all these different departments come together to run a city. And so I think it's awesome, and I think that with the Youth Voice Fest, having them engaged in the classes on those Tuesdays will kind of help draw even more people in. With the classes, what's the age group for that?
Well, it's geared towards middle school and high school, but we ain't no cap.
Huh?
I mean, if adults are welcome, but it's geared towards the youth.
Okay.
But we're not turning people like, oh, no, you too old. No. If you want to understand, you want to learn, you want to ask some questions, we're going to have some great people there. We're going to have some people that's, the state senator, Stephanie Chang, she agreed to come in.
She's
a couple
so
people.
Awesome.
Yes, so it's people that's lining up, to step in and come in and give words and educate from perspectives and take questions. So, but how many do we have this year? Well, how many
we can hire
opens?
20 slots.
Oh, that's great.
We can hire 20 slots.
Yeah,
so
I would love. That would be. That is a great light bulb. That was great. That was great. Because that you're right. This is part of it. It's after they probably work hours, so I don't know how that works, but yeah. If you could, I'm sure you can make something happen. So I would love to include them into the class.
Oh yeah. So it's we gotta figure that part out.
Yeah.
But with it being on Tuesdays, what time?
4:30 to 6.
Oh, well, it's after work hours, so
yeah,
it should work. So They can literally leave from
Wherever
whatever
they at.
department
Yeah,
and head
right.
straight over to the rec center.
Uh-huh.
But I think if we can just really educate the grandparents, the parents, the uncles, the aunties, the cousins that are already involved in the process, to also pull on that age group or others in the family or friends that are not engaged in the process, and link up and really come out. One, you guys would come out to the class, which day it starts on the 9th.
The 9th,
right?
July 9th, yeah.
So July 9th, come out and participate, but to also participate in voting and elections. And it doesn't necessarily just have to be the primary, but vote in the general, they do special elections, vote in the local elections. You know, we have different people that are running for different seats, and it's crucial that we put people in office that line up with what we want to see happen. If you have any inkling in your heart to step out and do something, whether it's a school board, precinct delegate, whether it's city council, you know, step out. Whether you just want to be on an advisory board, just step out and actually get engaged in your community, whether it's here in Highland Park, whether it's in Detroit, whether it's in Benton Harbor, whether it's wherever, but get engaged, because we need more people to step outside of their comfort zone to say, hey, I see this, but I have a solution in mind, and this is the solution I want to bring to the table. But the best way to bring those ideas to the table is to have a seat at that table. And if you ain't got one, you got to make one.
That's right. That's right.
I'm just saying, like, I've been that person who didn't want to vote. I've been that person who voted once and then was like, all right, I'm done. Like, I feel like I did my job. But now I feel like I need to do more. Although I do stuff in the community, I feel like I need to take it a step further. And so to me, I feel like the precinct delegate position is just a small position, but at the same time, it's a huge impact. And you have a huge responsibility, but who knows what that leads to,
That's right.
you know?
Well,
I hope not too far. Lord help me.
you can't get into this and then put a ceiling on it. Okay? No, you can't. I'm just being honest.
Look,
I'm just being honest.
y'all
I
just
feel you, but I'm just being honest. I'm gonna keep it 100.
well, I can't tell the previous councilman that I just refuse to do anything else, but but that's where I'm at right now. But please, I know that we're laughing. I know that we're up here having a good time, but this is a very serious matter.
Absolutely.
And we just encourage each person to come out, bring your nephews, your nieces, your sons, your daughters, you know, just bring everyone out. Come out Sunday, July 7th from 2 to 6 p.m. at Park Place Plaza for the Get Out the Vote Youth Voice Fest. We got entertainment, from what I heard. We got a DJ. We got food. What else?
Entertainment.
Oh, yeah, I said entertainment.
Did you say entertainment?
I did.
Oh,
That was
education.
Education. And on-site voter registration. So come out.
No.
Have a good time. Any last words before we have to jump today?
Yeah, I would also like to see more young people run for offices and be part of boards and commissions and take more charge of your community, because like the leaders of the past were young.
Oh,
Okay, the leaders
True.
of the past were young. They
True.
did it in their 20s and 30s when they had that energy to really bang.
yeah.
And that's what we need. That's what we're missing. We're missing that young energy. You know, it could be taught, because we really starting on the same level, because what they know, really the people that's been voting for a long time, they know just as much as them.
That's true. So I'm going to call out a couple names. Karan. Karan Jr. Yep. Y'all come out. Rio. Rio the Grape. You call yourself the mayor. Come on, I'm calling you out. So I need all y'all.
I texted that dude the other day too. So hey, I waited
I'm
for
calling y'all
I
out.
waited
Look.
for a return. You brought it up.
I'm calling y'all out. I need y'all because, you know, they have such great energy
They
and they
do.
want to see so much happen here
I
in their
agree.
city. And I'm just excited to see whatever path God leads them on. But, hey, this y'all time, man.
That's
This
right.
y'all
I'm
time.
gonna call him again when I leave.
Well,
Yeah.
if y'all watching, expect a call because it's coming. But I appreciate you joining me today. Thank you to the Secretary of State, Jocelyn Bisson, for calling in today as well to talk about this issue, to talk about voting. And I am just excited to see this and be a part of this event on July 7th. I am showing my face. I'm going to see what food is on deck. I like to eat, so I'm gonna see what food is on deck. But I'm gonna also, just go around and talk with people because just like I was turned away from voting, and then the light bulb came on, I hope to do the same for somebody else. So pass on the knowledge, come out, be engaged, get engaged, come to city council meetings, go to school board meetings, become active in your community. Community projects, whatever it is that's on your heart to do, just get out here and do it. Don't wait and say I'm gonna wait till next year or whatnot to get started. You can get started now and watch it flourish from there. So,
And don't get discouraged.
big one.
Fight it out.
Fight it out.
I mean, just because it can be. It can be discouraging, but it's the prize is past that. So don't get discouraged. Persevere. Stay the course because it's worth it, and we need you.
Absolutely. So you are watching or have been watching the Highland Park Spotlight Show. If you are just now tuning in, I'm so sorry. Catch the replay on YouTube. It'll be there, City of Highland Park YouTube or WHPR TV YouTube channel as well. I'm your host, Keisha B, and we are signing off. Thank you for watching.